So I went to the TELUS Science Center in Vancouver today because I am so bored when I'm not working on my TV show. So I just like wander around Vancouver and go on weird Max alone adventures. And I went to the Science Center and it was all like little kids. And I haven't been to a real science museum since I think I went to one on mushrooms a couple years ago, but I don't remember. And I went completely sober today. But I was really in my head because my brain is just dirk gently, dirk gently, dirk gently all the fucking time. And I'm working on a new episode and I have some gaps to fill. So my nose itches so bad. I'm like allergic to Canada. So I get to the Science Center. And I'm like totally in my head, just walking around, headphones in. I'm listening to Imagine Dragons, the new album, the Smoke and Mirrors album. They're an underrated band. Give me a break. They're good. And I think I just lost everyone right there. And I walk in, there's this big like dome on the top of it. It's like an orb that you can see from a bunch of places in the city. And it houses this giant IMAX screen. And I saw that there was a thing about national parks playing, so I went in the theater and I sat down. The giant fucking screen lights up in front of me, and Robert Redford starts talking, and I'm like, cool, this is beautifully shot on film. I was like, wow, this is really beautiful. And I kind of zone out, and for some reason, even though it's a documentary about national parks, uh, it has like characters, kind of like you're following these three people, this girl Rachel, this guy Max, and they're Rachel and Max. It just occurred to me that the movie I saw today, Rachel is my sister's name. Sorry, my mind is getting reblown. So Rachel is a family friend to Max, and they have like a father-son relationship, but it's not clear what the real relationship is. This guy named Connor, who's like this, like very outdoorsy guy. And they're going on a trip to all the national parks. And I am not paying attention to this movie. It's not a narrative movie. It's like a documentary, but you're sort of getting insight into these people. And it's like from 1991, the way all the like IMAX movies are. And I'm like, okay, like this is okay. And I start zoning out. And then I hear in the IMAX movie they start playing that song, "Hold back the river, let me look in your eyes." You know that song, "Hold back that song, stop for a second." That it came out like last year. And I was like, everyone in this movie looks really 90s. Why is this song? And it's shot on film. This is from like 19... Maybe they went back and they added music to it, like modern music, to make it more relevant. And I was like, oh, weird. And everyone in the movie's like wearing like neon day glow workout and climbing clothes. And they're all like rock climbing and mountain biking, doing the most 90s shit ever. And I'm like, crazy that they would retrofit it. And I can't figure out, they also keep naming national parks. And I keep thinking like, I know that national park. Do I know that many national parks in Canada? Like, I swear I've heard that name before. And I can't figure out why we're following this group of three people. And so I'm like zoning in and out of the movie, just sort of thinking about my show and thinking about stories. And like, all of a sudden I notice on screen, Rachel is telling a story about Connor and Max and how they know each other. And I'm like, okay, I'll listen. And Rachel explains that Max's father was a mountain climber adventure guy who went on a big adventure in the Himalayas with Connor. And his name is like Alex Loeb. And there was a big avalanche and Max's dad died. And Connor came back to America and had like PTSD from his best friend dying, and like slowly became close with Max, and now he's like a father to Max. And like father-son stuff gets me, and I started crying because I was like, and now they go on adventures to national parks, and I couldn't believe that I hadn't been paying attention to this movie, and I had all these weird questions like, what year is this in, and like why do I know the Canadian national parks? And so I'm crying, and I'm in this theater with like a bunch of little kids and no one else. And then he takes out an iPhone to take a picture of Rachel and Max. And I'm like, wait, he has an iPhone? Oh my God, this is from like last year. This is new. And so that tidal wave realization hits me. And then 5 seconds later, I realize he's taking a picture in front front of them, in front of the Grand Canyon. And so it's been in America the whole time. And so, like, within, like, 5 seconds of screen time, I am hit with, you're suddenly emotionally invested. It's made now. They're in America. And I, like, it was like the end of 2001. I was like, blah, blah, what is happening? And I started crying and laughing because I'm so stupid. And I started laughing, crying, and choking and, like, scream laughing. And all of these kids in the theater, like, the movie was still playing. They were playing another, like, hey, 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 renegade. It's like that song or whatever in the fucking IMAX movie. But all of these little kids are, like, staring at this crazy guy who is crying. I swear to God, so many of my stories are me zoning out and then coming back in to realize reality has ambushed me. It was a weird day.